Hello my gorgeous guys and dolls, and welcome back to my channel. This is a long overdue video. I've had a few of you law students email me and I would like to answer you graciously in this video. I thought I could just answer you all in one video, as I owed that to you because I haven't actually wrote back to anyone, and I'm very sorry for that. I've just been going through a lot recently, but we will read the emails as I go down from most recent to the oldest, and I apologize again that this has taken me so long. So we're going to do this right now. Okay, so I will not be releasing any names. As per request, a lot of you didn't want your names released on my videos, so I will respect your privacy and I will have you all anonymous. So I will be reading you these emails. Hi there. I'm a big fan of your work, and you know what? I'm going to put my mic. By the way, do you like my new setup? It's coming along, and I have this kind of an art deco kind of setup with my new keyboard, which is the First Blood B67. And I have my mouse right here as well that goes with it. I just absolutely love it. So, okay, let's get to these emails. Hi there, I'm a big fan of your work and recently watched your video on LLB, LLM programs. Thank you. I wanted to ask for your advice. I've been working as a paralegal for several years. Good for you. Good for you. That's really good. And hold a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from a US college. I also started an LLB program in Brazil, but wasn't able to complete it. I was recently accepted into the online LLB program at the University of Law, my uni, and my dream is to become a lawyer. Good for you. Very difficult path, and I'm so proud of you for coming this far. I'm a dual citizen, American and Brazilian, and while I'd like to practice law in the US, I'm also open to the idea of moving to London in the future. I have a lot of paralegal experience in the US, so that feels like my natural decision. Here's my question. Since I already have a bachelor's degree, could I pursue an LLM directly and qualify for the bar? Or would I still need to complete a second bachelor's degree for that? I'm trying to avoid going through the traditional American law school route, mainly because of the cost, the LSAT, and the fact that I need to continue working. I'd really appreciate your guidance on this. Okay, so what I understand is that you have your bachelor's in criminal justice from the US, and you want to know if you could pursue directly the American LLM and then qualify for the bar. With your bachelor's, you cannot, because you need the equivalent of a JD, which is an American law degree, an undergraduate law degree, and that is your LLB, which you are yet to pursue. So if you wanted to do the American law route, which I know you don't, but if you wanted to, you would have to get your LLB first and then do the American LLM. And then you can sit not anyone. You can sit, actually with the American LLM, you can sit a lot of different bar exams from different states. If you want to avoid the American law route, which you do, you would have to get your LLB and the LPC, or the LLB and the BPTC. And California is a lot more open to foreign qualified applicants and foreign lawyers to sit their bar exam without going the American traditional law route. New York is really, really anal. Like, I have barrister friends who still couldn't sit the bar in New York. They're very anal about time, and about certain details about your degree, timing. Also, if you pursued your degree online, which is really silly because University of Law is one of the most prestigious, respected, and the largest law school in Europe. And they were not an online university, they are a proper university, but since COVID, they've had online courses, which one of them I'm pursuing. I'm doing the LLM LPC from the Uni of Law. Whereas if I had done my LLB and LPC both online, then New York wouldn't have accepted me. They rejected me anyway because they were really confused with my degrees. I have 2 law degrees from the UK. I have the LLB and the GDL. The only reason why I did the GDL on top of my LLB was to cure the gap in my studies for bar purposes. I could have been straight solicitor, which I'm route now, but for the bar in the UK required me to cure my gap and do the GDL, even though I don't need it for the LPC. So when New York saw these degrees, they got really confused and thought that my LLB wasn't qualifying, which it was because my university sent them a letter stating it was a fully qualifying law degree. But they assumed just because I had my GDL, which they do not accept the GDL, they just rejected me. And it's so stupid because they took a year to process my application. They can take 6 months at least to a year or more to process your application, which is ridiculous. If you go to the New York State Bar Examiner's website, you will see a section on foreign qualifications, and you can find all your information from there. It's not well written, it's quite confusing, and it's not straightforward, but I will link it below for anyone who is interested. But I will tell you that it is very hard to be able to sit the New York bar without an American LLM. Most applicants, whether you're qualified or you have a qualifying law degree from the UK, they will still require you. They make it extremely difficult for us to get in. It's like they don't want us. It's like they've made it as difficult as possible for us to get in. And it's just crazy because when you have such a legitimate and accredited university such as University of Law, and they're not accepting it because if you've done your exams online, that's what I mean. They're extremely anal and nitpicky, and it's ridiculous. California, on the other hand, is a lot more open to embrace foreign lawyers and foreign qualified applicants. So if you have your LLB with the LPC or your LLB with the BPTC, and you're technically qualified to work over there in your own jurisdiction, California will most likely allow you to sit as long as you pass the credential evaluations. That's another thing. And okay, in New York, they had their own credential evaluators, which I don't like. They were internal, they were American. I spoke with them over the phone and they were so confused and had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. No offense. California hires a professional company of external evaluators. They're all from Europe and they're completely aware of all the degrees and they're very knowledgeable. I spoke to the head guy at A to Z Evaluation and he knew exactly what I was talking about, and it was a breath of fresh air. They should hire professionals to be evaluating the credentials, not people within their own system. It's very weird. So you have to pay a fee to them and they will evaluate your credentials. They take a couple of weeks to get back to you. And I finally got my credentials evaluated, and yes, I have a certificate officiated, stamped, sealed, saying that my LLB is a qualifying law degree. That's the equivalent to an American JD. That piece of paper is the last piece to the puzzle for my bar exam application in California. I just have to pass my LPC first. So at least I know my credentials that I have already, my LLB is qualifying because I have a piece of paper proving it by professionals, and therefore I can apply. So in that situation, I hope I've answered your question. California is much, much easier for us to sit the bar. So I highly recommend that route. Also, just so you all know, just because you qualify in California doesn't mean you can't practice anywhere. You can practice in most places in America, you just can't go to court anywhere except California. So being bar qualified in California means that you have rights of audience to litigate in California in case you need to do that. I don't want to be in litigation. I don't want to be an advocate like that. I just want to do lawyer work. Like I was happy doing immigration and contracts and trusts and stuff like that, and I can still do that with a bar qualification outside of the state. So just so you know, you can practice at different law firms in different states. You just can't go to court anywhere. but California if you get bar qualified in California. Also, after 5 years, you can get sworn into another state anyway if you want to litigate in that state. Okay, the next one is so I'm currently studying my LLB next, what does it say? Hold on one second. I'm currently studying to receive my LLB degree next year in July. I'm writing to inquire about the necessary steps I need to take in order to become a licensed lawyer in the state of California. Specifically, I would appreciate any information or guidance regarding the following. 1. Eligibility requirements. Are there specific eligibility criteria for foreign educated lawyers to practice in California? I think I already answered that with the last one. You basically need your LPC and your LLB, and you need to have that confirmed with the credential evaluators that it is an equivalent to a JD in order to sit. And you need to be able to show that you are qualified to practice in your jurisdiction. So your LPC needs to be qualifying, or your bar needs to be qualifying, and you need to have proof of that. Okay, bar examination. What is the process for applying to take the California bar examination? Are there any preparatory courses or evaluations required for foreign law graduates? Yes, so there are a lot of different bar prep courses like Barbary, is it called Themis? The most popular ones, but yeah, they are a couple $1,000s. They usually have like promotional deals and discounts and stuff like that, and a lot of them will allow you to have like a free retake or something. They have like different packages and things that you can buy, but yeah, you can take these bar prep courses, and they with whichever state you're doing it in, so you can look at that. And then the process of the California bar exam, you have to register with the California bar examination, the examiner's website. So you get this number, this ID, and you have this checklist on there. So I have checked a few of mine off. I still have to complete the LPC, but my credential evaluation is checked off because that's already been sent in and accepted. So they're literally just waiting for me to complete my LPC right now. But yeah, when you register with them, then you're given a bar number and everything, and you can see the steps that you have to go through once you register with them, but you have to register. 3rd, credential evaluation. Is there a need for an evaluation of my LLB degree by an accredited agency? And if so, could you provide details on the recognized evaluators and the procedure involved? So I already answered that before, but yeah, I highly recommend A to Z evaluation. I think A2, like the number 2, eval.com. I will also link it below so you guys can see the services they provide, but they are one of the top recognized evaluators for California. California Bar website recommends this company. That's why I use them. Do not use any other company just because you want to save money or it's cheaper. You have to go with something California obviously recognizes. Really good experience with them, so I highly recommend them. For additional coursework, are there any mandatory courses or additional education that I must complete before qualifying to take the bar examination? No, as long as you have your LLB, your LPC, or your LLB and your BPTC, they will, and it's all good to go and recognized, you should be able to sit. 5, licensing process. Could you please outline the overall process for obtaining a license to practice law in California, including any post-exam requirements? I'm not sure about that. I'm not there myself. I haven't gone through that yet, but I do know there's like this character. It's like a character evaluation that you have to go through. I think it's like a background check and character evaluation. You have to basically, it's the same in the UK when you apply for to join one of the law societies. They do a character check. So I know there's that, but I'm not sure about the licensing, other details about the licensing process after that. But I know there are more steps after, because it's law. There's always something else that you have to do. I would be grateful if you could also direct me to any resources or contacts that could assist me in navigating the process. I wanted to extend my sincere apologies for any inconvenience I may have caused by reaching out again. I understand how valuable your time is, and I did not intend to impose. You're such a law student. You know, it's funny because I can tell with most people who write me, I can tell if they are law students, but you write very well, and it's really good. It's commendable, because I do worry when I get law students writing to me and their grammar and punctuation is atrocious. Obviously, I'm not judging, and I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you know, when you're just writing to a YouTuber, you're not going to be at the same level as if you're writing a writing sample for your next law firm. I understand that it's not going to be the same thing, but it still reflects well, right? It still does reflect well, even though I'm not hiring anyone for anything. It's still nice to open an email and someone who takes care in the writing, because if you want to practice law, writing is one of the main things that we do. You are supposed to be strong in English if you're practicing law in English. And your English skills, your writing skills, your punctuation, your grammar should be stellar. Let me see. After following your insightful videos on YouTube, thank you, I felt compelled to seek further clarification on the process of practicing as a lawyer in California State. However, I now realize that my follow-up might have been more appropriate at another time, although through different channels, but you shared your email in one of the videos, and taking the advantage of it, I chose to email you right after. Thank you very much for your time and assistance. I look forward to your response. Please note that I deeply appreciate the effort you put into sharing your knowledge and expertise, and I apologize if my request for further assistance came across as burdensome. Warm regards. You're such a bloody lawyer. I love it. I'm so proud of you. But honestly, I hope I have assisted you and given you at least some clarification on your inquiries today. So anyway, that is pretty much all I have time for tonight, and I'm so happy that you could join me, and I hope I have given some clarity to at least some of you. And if you have any further questions or other inquiries, please do feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye bye.